Hi guys, it's your girl Oshay. Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be making this beautiful piece you see on your screen. As you can see, it is very lovely. So if this is what you like to learn, do watch this video to the end and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So I've already gone ahead to draft every single thing I need on my pattern paper. That is my chest line, my bust point, my under bust, and my full length. Don't forget it's a crop top, so my crop top full length. So I'll just go ahead and mark my nipple to nipple measurement like so, and then I'm going to connect with my ruler. So after that, I'll come upwards with 1 inch from my bust point and downwards with half of an inch also from my bust point, and I will connect those points together like so. I'll just go ahead and make those points very visible. So now I'll go ahead and mark the midpoint of my shoulder like so. So after then, I'll just go ahead and use my ruler to connect the points from my shoulder to the 1 inch we came upwards with from the bust. And after then, I will just go ahead and mark the length of my strap. This part, you're supposed to measure it on the person's body also. Wherever it stops, that is where you'll be marking on your pattern paper. So I went ahead to mark mine at 8 inches and I will just connect the points like so. So after that, I will just come downwards from this 8 inches line. I will come downwards with about 1.5 inch. And I will just go ahead and use my ruler to connect it like so, because I don't want that line to just be straight. I just want something sort of like a sweetheart neck. I'll go ahead and smoothen out the lines, and then I'll go ahead also to connect it also to my armhole like so. See, it is very easy. So I'll just go ahead and blend that out like so. So after that, the next thing is just to go ahead and mark your dart intake for this upper part. I took 1 inch for this side and half an inch for this other side. You can also do this at the shoulder, but I want mine to be at this chest line because I want the bust part to be tightened. I don't want to have to do bust tightening for it again. So I'll connect the points like so, and then I will go ahead and mark my bust measurement on this chest line. I will mark it, and then I will add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. I will do the same thing for my bust point also. So for the under bust, I'll go ahead and mark 1.5 inch for the side piece and half an inch for the middle piece. This will be for my dart intake for the waist part. So after marking it like so, I'll go ahead and use my straight ruler to connect those points together like the way you see me do. And then after this, I'll go ahead and use my curved ruler to connect the under bust to meet with the half inch we came downwards with from the bust point like so. So after that, I'll just go ahead now and mark my waist measurement. So this middle piece, don't forget our nipple to nipple was 4.5, but minus the half inch, it will give us 4. So I will place that 4 from that side piece, and then I will mark my waist measurement, and then I'll go ahead and add my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch. So this part we are going to be cutting out. So I'll use the straight part of my ruler to mark those points together like so. I'm going to mark it into a straight line. After that, I'll be rolling an extension by the side of this piece like so, and then I will go ahead and cut out my piece like so. And now I will just cut out the center piece, and I will cut off these remaining darts from this side piece. So after that, I will just go ahead and measure this side to determine the difference between my front and my back, and the difference is about 4.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark that 4.5 inches like so, starting from the bust point downwards. After marking it, I will just take my straight ruler to mark to meet with that point from my bust point directly to meet with that 4.5 inch, and I will mark it like so. Now after that, I will just go ahead and slash this part open, just like the way you see me do, and then I will go ahead and overlap it. You see that even the extension we came outwards with is still small, so I will just go ahead and cut out another piece of paper that I will be placing underneath this particular pattern. So this part is very important because that side that we took, that 4.5 inch side that we took, is going to make this pattern shorter. So we need this additional paper so that we can actually extend our measurements, because that upper part is going to become very short. So if we don't do it like this, we are going to be short also of the fabric that we are going to cut. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm going to tape down this piece like this, and then see this. If you notice, this extension we came outwards with, it has shifted, is no longer aligning this part that you see me marking. So that is the reason why we need this additional paper at the bottom. So I'm going to use my straight ruler to mark like this. Now note, I am marking from where my sewing allowance stopped, not the extension. So I'm going to go ahead and take my measurement again. It is more than the back with about half an inch, but that is not an issue. So I will just go ahead and trim out the excess part of this paper. I will trim everything out. So after trimming the paper, this is exactly how it looks. So don't forget, we still have half inch to take away from this pattern. So I'm just going to come upwards from the bottom part like so, and then inwards from this middle part with about 1 inch, and then I will just connect it, yes, from that point 1 inch to meet with this half inch, and then I will just trim it out like so. So that is all for the front pattern. We are just going to move on to the back. So now for the back, I already went ahead to mark the necessary lines. I will just be coming inwards from this zipper part the way you see me do exactly, with 1 inch, and then I will take my straight ruler to connect it to the tip of my starting line, just like so, and then I will move the ruler inwards and connect from here to this place again. Now I will use my straight ruler also to mark these two dots together like this. Now this part has automatically become my new zip allowance. This part is necessary because our back is not totally straight. It's just to give the back part a balance. So after then, I'll just go ahead and insert my bust measurement. Starting from that new zipper allowance, I will mark my bust measurement like so, and then I'll go ahead and add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. I will do the same thing for my waistline. I will mark my waist measurement like so, and then I will mark 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. So after then, I'll go ahead and get the midpoint of that part, which is 4.5. I will just place it like so. I will mark the dot, and then I will take half inch on both sides of that particular dot. Now after then, I'll go ahead and take the midpoint of my shoulder like we did for the front. After doing that, I'm just going to come upwards from that midpoint with about 8 inches. Now this part is optional, it just depends on how deep you want that back to be. I just want it to be slightly deep, not too deep. Then I will take my straight ruler and connect those dots together like so. I will also go ahead and mark out my dart. That is the half inch that we took by the side and side. So after that, I'll just go ahead and connect this tip to meet the midpoint of my shoulder that we marked earlier on, just like so. So after that, I'm just going to measure from my center back. I will measure 10 inches downwards like so. So after marking these 10 inches, I'm just going to go ahead and use the curved part of my ruler to connect it to meet with our bust measurement, not the sewing allowance, the main bust measurement that this main point. I'll connect it to meet with that 10 inches. Now this is to determine the deepness of the back of my top. I don't want it to be too hanging and I don't want it to be too deep, so I use 10 inches. So now I will just go ahead at that zipper part. I will go upward with half of an inch. After that, I will just go ahead and balance my um measurement at the waist part. Yes, I'm going to balance it up so that I can be able to rule this to meet up with my measurement at the waist. Now I'm just going to use my ruler and connect it like this. Now I'm not connecting to meet with the sewing allowance, I'm connecting to meet with the main measurement itself, like the main waist measurement. So I will just connect it like this, and then I will measure it is exactly what we needed, 9 inches, and I will just go ahead and trim off this pattern. So after cutting out this pattern, I will set this aside, and then I'll work with just that main part. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the excess part of the zip. I'll trim off the waist, and then I will slash that part open like so. So after slashing it open like this, I will place it facing each other, and I will use my marker to make sure that I indicate the center piece and then the upper part of my panel, so that I will not make a mistake while cutting. Now after that, I will introduce that back pattern again so that I can get the measurement of my strap. Then I will just go ahead and cut the strap. That means 8 for the front and 9 inches for the back. Then we add additional 1.5 inches for the sewing allowance, and that will be all. So now this is the skirt. I've already cut out 2 parts, the exact length that I want. So I'll just go ahead and mark the zipper part. I'm going to trim off the excesses. Now the main full skirt length, I just took out 13 inches out of it. What I measured the lady was about 44 inches for the skirt length, but because she said she wanted to be very flowing, I added 4 more inches to it. So now I went ahead to mark the waist, and I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So from that waist point, I will mark her hip line, just like the way you see me do. I'll mark it on this other side so that when I connect it, it will give me a straight line, just like so. And then after that, I will just go ahead and mark my hip measurement from that point. I'll add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. Then I will use the curved part of my roller to connect these points like so. Then I will use the straight part to just link it down. Yes, so after that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out this piece. First of all, I will notch my zipper allowance. This part is very important. I'll notch the bottom part too, so that I will not make mistakes. And then I will just trim the bottom part, and I will go ahead to cut the side piece. So that is all for this part of the skirt. So now I will introduce the bottom part that I will be using for the pleating. I already went ahead to arrange it, so I'm just getting this part. What I measured was 13 inches. The half length of this skirt is actually 12. I added 1 inch. So now I continued from that part to get the exact full length I want for this skirt. Now I added 2 extra inches for the folding of the up and the down of the skirt. So if you watched to this part, guys, you guys please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Then I will see you in my next video. Bye.